Hey guys, let's talk Lua. Okay, so in previous lessons we created a folder which we put some Lua code into, and this is in my case called the Lua code folder, and it's on the desktop. If you don't have this folder, if you don't have this file, this test file, then you're going to need to watch the previous lessons. Moving right along, so far we like I was talking about, we have downloaded a text editor so we can write out a bunch of code. We have learned about the print function and how the print function can take variables and print them to the screen. We've learned kind of what a variable is. Now let's add one other fun little bit to the mix and teach you how to read a user's input. So either go to Notepad++, whether there's an icon on your desktop, or if you go through your start menu, or if you simply right click on the Lua file and then click edit with Notepad. If you double click on the Lua script, it'll just run it, so you can't just double click to open. You have to right click and then say open with Notepad++. Alright, so in here I'm going to introduce you to something new. Okay, I had to change my style because you couldn't see part of my script. So I've changed it to vibrant ink, and this will kind of keep things a little bit more bold. So first line, we've created a variable, and remember it's like a box. We've said open up that box and then put a number 1 inside that box. Now next we called this, and that is called a function, called the function. It is also a box, and we said, hey, pass in a and do whatever you're supposed to do function. And in the print function is supposed to take whatever you give it and then print it out to the terminal. Just give us a little visibility. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to type io and then something a little bit different, a period after that. Without getting into too much detail, this is a way of putting functions inside of function. So it's as if somebody created a box and said, okay, I want to start putting boxes inside of this box. So you kind of can categorize functions. And so in this case, we have the .io functions. And you'll notice that very, very handy, Notepad++ has this little drop-down menu. And we want to take a quick moment to peruse this list. First on the list is if. This is something that we'll be learning about, and it'll be extremely valuable. It allows your computer to make decisions. I'm just gonna kind of skip over most of this stuff and all the way down to io.read. The list goes on quite a bit, but we're just going to focus on io.read. And I guess you can kind of see that. Okay, fine. Okay, now I'm on Obsidian because you couldn't see it on the last one. So I have typed out io.read, and I forgot to put something in front of it. Let's go ahead and put b equals io.read. Now we're going to save it. You can hit this little floppy drive or press Control S on a Windows machine. Open up a command prompt by typing the Windows key and then CMD enter. Navigate to the desktop, which I showed you in a previous example. Then next to the Lua code directory. And now you can simply type test.lua and it will run your code. And here we have, you'll notice that it hasn't, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but it hasn't finished running. And that's because it's actually sitting on the io.read line and waiting for an input. So now what we can do is just write, we could type whatever we want. I'm going to type some text. So just text. Oh, okay, that's fine. And it took that text and it assigned it to B. But we don't get to see B because we didn't print it. So let's do that. So after that line, we're going to say b equals, or no, sorry, print b. Remember to save it, and then let's head back over to the command prompt. Here I am in the command prompt. If I up arrow to bring up the last command, which is test.lua, press enter. Here it's waiting for my input. I'm going to this time just go with simple 5. And then what do you know? Immediately after 5, it prints a 5. And that's because in our code, it received an input and then printed the input. Okay, so one of the things that I really didn't like about our script was that you couldn't tell, there was no prompt to tell you to enter some text. So we can, based on the knowledge that we have so far, we can just use the print function, and we'll type please enter a number, something simple, and then that should print. So let's save that, head over to the command prompt, up arrow, please enter a number, 5, and then it goes ahead and prints 5. All right, so what I want you to do is write this script, have some fun, play around with it, see if you can take that number and do something with it and then spit it out. Like, for instance, multiplying it maybe, or adding it into some text. So yeah, just have some fun messing around with it. Thanks for watching.